it's Velo here. Welcome to a new video and I hope you like my new intro. I am in the process of revamping my channel or my videos, both visually as well as when it comes to content. I want to make better videos and be happy with them myself. It's not like I think I'm making bad videos, but I think there's always room for growth and I want to do what makes me feel the best and all that kind of stuff, and I'm just kind of figuring it out. I'm not sure yet what I want to do. If you watched my latest video, the mini channel update one, you know all this, but I just wanted to mention in case you didn't, and that's also why there haven't been as many videos, and probably in the future too. I will be more focusing on quality than quantity, so I won't be posting daily, probably only like 2 to 3 times a week, but also I don't really want to have a schedule, at least for now. I just don't feel like that suits me, but yeah, I think that's it for that. Now for this build, the speed build today, I am calling it the Grandparent's house, and I just basically started building this cute house in Strangeville. The basic shape is very simple, it's just a box, but I had this image in mind of how I wanted the roof to go, and I kind of wanted to have these inserted windows in the roof. I wanted to do it as well as I could in The Sims. Like, of course you can't actually have windows in the roofing in The Sims like you can in real life. At least I have seen some houses like that in my neighborhood recently, but that's where I got the inspiration. But I wanted to try if I could do something similar in The Sims, and I think it works out pretty fine. And as you can see here, I am going for quite an interesting color scheme, so I'm using the new Strangeville windows and doors in the green and brown swatch, and I think it's a very beautiful swatch. It's definitely different from anything we have and anything I've used before, but I just thought it was very interesting and I wanted to try to work with it, and then I decided to go for a red roofing. It sounds kind of weird, but I think it works, like visually it works. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted to keep the house very simple and just use these very elaborate like columns and awnings and fences that we got from Strangeville, and mostly, you know, highlight those because they are so beautiful. And yeah, this house is, like I said, for grandparents, so I modeled it for an elderly couple, but also they do have room for if their children or grandchildren come to visit. So it is a 2-bedroom house, and they have like the other room is kind of a study slash guest bedroom, and then they do also have a toddler bed in their master bedroom, so the toddler can sleep with their grandparents. I thought that was pretty cute. And here at the back there was a back door, and I do end up having the porch like wrap around the other side of the build. I wasn't sure what to do there, but I asked Twitter and they said they preferred it with a porch, so that's what I did. And here I also used those Strangeville things that you're supposed to put on the roof. I used them in these gaps where the windows are, and I also used those Get Famous flower boxes. I thought it was a very interesting combination. I thought it looked good. I don't think it's that realistic. I don't even know what those like iron things would be doing there, but you know, it looked good and I liked it in the game. So yeah, here I was trying out some different windows, but I ended up going for the same ones as in the rest of the build, and here I just go in and extend the porch. I cut some of it out, but I was trying some different things like having a roof piece over it and stuff like that, but it didn't work out. So it's just like this, just a little porch here, so that you can more easily like move around and access the backyard, even though you can also, but just from the outside there is a pathway there. And then we are doing the floor planning. I decided to keep most of it in. I cut some small parts, but I thought it was quite interesting. It was not the easiest thing to floor plan, but also not the hardest one. So yeah, the downstairs was relatively easy, and then the upstairs was a little bit more difficult, but I just had to adjust the roof a little bit, add another window, and that was fine. And yeah, like I said, it's a 2-bedroom house, and there's also 2 bathrooms, and in the basement that you saw just a while ago there is a laundry. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, here we are in the upstairs, and I am having a little bit of trouble, so I decided to go in and adjust the roof here, add one of these windows, because otherwise the second bedroom would have not had any windows, and that would not be nice for the person living there, I think. So yeah, that's what I did. And then I didn't decide that this was gonna be a grandparent's home before I started furnishing. So yeah, this is where it kind of starts to take shape. I think this is also a pretty old house. Maybe the grandparents' parents built it, and I brought in the same colors from the exterior to the interior. So the brown and the green, there is the staircase is the same color, and I use all the same like columns and stuff like that all around the house. I just thought that tied it together very nicely, and especially in older houses I think it's pretty common. And like in a case like that, the same people would have built both the exterior and the interior. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. And then I am figuring out the layout of the living room. Now this was quite of a struggle. I did not know what I wanted to do, and I tried here to make this like L-shaped couch. It doesn't look too bad, but I just don't like doing it myself. I don't mind when others do it, but when I do it, I just it does bug me that there's like this visual glitch in the corner piece. So I end up going for just one of those couches, and then I'm struggling with the TV stand as well. I was trying to go for this very specific look I had in mind, that I've seen many people have as their TV set stand or something like that, and I think it's like from the early 90s, and it's this very specific style that I see all of the time, but I could just not replicate it. I was trying to use all of these like get to work shelves and things like that, but I end up changing it up for a Get Famous bookcase, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it. There's nothing like too crazy. It's not a super big living room. It's like quite small actually compared to like the kitchen and dining. But I do imagine that the kitchen and dining rooms used to be separated, and maybe they renovated the place just a little bit to make that area more open plan. And then I just added some of this floral tapestry so that it would look a little bit more like grandparents' home and stuff like that. I don't think they're like very old grandparents though. I think they're on the younger side, and I think like their kids are quite young too still, and they have like small children. So I don't know, I kinda modeled this like in a 90s fashion a little bit. Like when we go to the upstairs, the guest bedroom is partly, I was modeling it like it used to be the kids' bedroom that grew up and moved out. and some of their stuff was left there, and it's kind of this very colorful and bright, and it has lots of posters. So I don't know exactly what I was going for, but in many cases I kind of had this image of a 90s house or apartment that I have seen, and like I was trying to go for pieces that went with that kind of a style. And here we are in the kitchen. I do end up changing the rooms up here a little bit, but in the kitchen as well, I decided to bring in the green color with these vampires cabinets and counters, and it does come together in the end. The kitchen, it's quite weird looking still, and I used the Parenthood stove and the Jungle Adventure fridge, and I love that those two packs have similar swatches. Like at least the kitchen appliances, you can match this stove and this fridge like in so many swatches, which is so rare, I think, for two items from a different pack to come in such a similar swatch that's not like black or white, even though that would be great in some cases too. But you know, this matches in a bright red and a deep blue, and that's just very cool, I think, and I wish they did more of that. Like, they've done it before, so I don't know why it's so difficult, but I really love using these together. They have the same style, so even though both of them have like the corresponding item from the same pack, I usually find myself using these two together. I just really like how they look. And this kitchen too, it's like kind of outdated but not too much, so that it's just a little bit older looking and it's a little bit cluttered too. I do go in later and I add like a table in the middle to act like as an island counter, and I put some pet foods in here because there is room for a cat or multiple cats in this house. So there is a litter box and the food bowls, as well as a couple like scratching posts or cat trees. So you could totally have cats here. Of course, dogs too. They don't need as much things, but I modeled it for some cats. And yeah, I do actually really like this kitchen. I love retro kitchens. I don't know what it is, especially like this kind of a color scheme. It took a while to come together. Like, I wasn't loving it at first, but in the end I quite like it. And here is the dining area, and I put a fireplace in there because that's where the chimney was. And I'm not sure how common it is to have like a fireplace in your dining room, but that's the most logical place I had for it here, so that's what I did. And I ended up going for this table from, I think, Cats and Dogs, and then these like city living chairs that you can get from the flea market. They're a little bit eccentric, but I thought they went very well with this house. And here I am comparing this little candle holder thingy with some of the lamps in game. And I know that some lamps are big, but this candle holder is so tiny. It bugs me because I love this item. It is so beautiful. But yeah, I just ended up sizing it up. It doesn't work perfectly, but if you switch it off, it won't have the candles lit, then it looks fine. So yeah, that's what I did, but it is a bit of a pity that some of the items are so out of scale. That is one of them. And then here I just put a radiator in and some rug, as well as a like rug on the wall. What's that called? A tapestry, is that it? From Jungle Adventure and stuff like that. And also there's this wood paneling all around, kind of to give that old and handmade feeling. And then here in the lobby, or this hallway here, it's quite a weird shape, but I think it works because it's not massive, so I just mainly leave it empty. I use this vampire's runner that's made out of these small pieces, and I'm surprised that they haven't done this again because I think it's a very great item. Well, it's 2 items, but nevertheless, I like using it, and even though some of the swatches are quite fancy, it does also have those more toned down swatches that you can use in most builds. So yeah, I like using that, and I do really hope that they would still do it again. I'm not sure why they haven't. And then just here near the front door, I've put down some shelves and a mirror, a shoe rack, as well as a chair to sit on when you are putting your shoes on. Probably I figured as they are a little bit elderly, they might need that. And yeah, I don't know if this like shelving unit is supposed to look like it's one piece. I don't think so. I was just kind of putting things down and figuring out what looked good, but maybe, you know, they've added to it as time has passed, and that's what it looks like now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then we go back to the living room, I think, and we just add like a clock and some clutter, as well as some paintings and wall decor. So there is that. I was definitely looking for like photos to put in and stuff like that. It's a shame we don't have that many, and I did this CC free, so I couldn't use any of those, because I definitely thought that like a grandparent's home would have so many pictures of their children and their grandchildren. I know my grandparents have pictures of us, but we don't have that many pictures in The Sims. But I did put like some down. One's like a sports team photo. I'm not sure what unlocks that and stuff like that, but you know, one of those things again that I think we definitely need more of, but I do think it ends up fine. I do really like the living room. Even though it's quite simple, it's quite brown as well as like, it's not my personal style, but I think for grandparents it works perfectly. Then you saw me put down the toilet thingies in the downstairs. I was trying to fit in a shower and it would have fitted like in terms of space, but I just felt like they didn't really need it, so the downstairs bathroom ends up being only a half bath. And then here in the basement there will be a laundry. Like I said, I think the lighting was a little bit interesting here. I'm not sure why, but soon we will be going into the upstairs, so here we are. This is the only full bathroom with a shower and bathtub combo, as well as a potty that I add in later because I do put in the toddler bed and stuff. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy going on, like nothing special at all, but I do like including the toilets. I know many people cut them out completely, but I actually quite enjoy decorating bathrooms, and I don't think they always look the same. They might, but I do like making them stand out a little bit often. So yeah, and this build took me quite a while to do, so I recorded like on at least 3 separate days, I think. So now I think we are on to the last clip where I go in and I fix some things that I didn't like that I had done before, and apparently I have put down some furniture here in the master bedroom, and that's what we are doing now. We are continuing here. So this is where the grandparents sleep and live, and when their grandkids come visit, I put in this portable toddler bed. I think it's base game. It came with like Jungle Adventure like at the same time, but I'm pretty sure it's base game because they needed to add a toddler bed that could be put into your inventory so that you could take it on vacation even if you didn't have Jungle Adventure. So I think it's base game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I just thought it was a very suitable thing to do here because they wouldn't have like a proper bed, but rather they would have something they would pull up when someone was visiting and stuff like that. But I do add some toys and stuff in as well, and some more old photos and stuff like that, as well as some plants and pots, and I just thought that was a very cute detail, like adding different kinds of potted plants. Here in a second I don't know what the grandparents used to do for work or what their hobbies are, but I definitely think at least one of them is kind of into plants and flowers. There's also like a flower arranging table in the backyard, so here I go in and just fill this little gap with this side table and then some plants. And there's also a bookcase here. There's quite many of these exact bookcases. I think I used this item 3 times in this build. One of them you can't use, but you know, they just got many of the same bookcase. And here were the cute little flowers, and just adding like some painting maybe of a relative or something. And then, like I said, the other bedroom is kind of like a guest bedroom slash study, and I imagine it was kinda, some of the furniture was left from when their kid, who's now a grown-up, lived at home. And like I said, there's some like quite retro stuff, and also quite like it's quite like a hippie-esque room from those parts. And there's also a fish tank, and then they have added like a study area later, and it's kind of a mismatched room because some of the furniture is older and some of it has been moved there, I think. You will see it in a second. Now we are just adding some decoration to this little landing area, and this small narrow room you can see in the corner here, that's just like storage space. When I was doing the layout, I couldn't figure out any other way to do like the upstairs to use that space, so I decided that it would just be this like a closet. So there's nothing much there. I think there's just like some boxes from seasons that you can use to put decorations on, so that's the only like usable thing in there. So mainly it's just, you know, storage and not really usable in game. But here is the second bedroom with the fish tank, and I put 2 of these laundry day cabinets or side tables on top of each other. I thought that looked pretty cute, and then I use some of these very bright colors for the furniture that I think was here originally for the kid. I think it was the grandparents' daughter probably. And then here's just the desk area with the bookcase and this older computer. And then there's also, like I said, I think some posters, some like there's this kind of a flag too, and I use these movie hangout and parenthood stuff that go very well together in terms of color and are very bright and colorful. And then there's some stuff for the cats, this tree where they can maybe watch the fishies, and I think they would love that. So yeah, it's a bit of a mismatch room, but I feel like with this backstory it kind of works. Let me know what you think. And here's just some more plants. I definitely think maybe the grandma really likes her house plants. I think that's super cute, and I also feel like the grandma is maybe more of a cat person, but then again, also, I just kind of feel like everyone in this family always loved cats. Like, they used to have cats when the kid was small, and then of course those cats wouldn't be there anymore, but they would always get a new cat and they would just always love them. And then maybe the grandpa is the one taking care of the aquarium or something. That's pretty much actually what my parents do. They have an aquarium and they've always had cats too. My mom has always had cats, so my mom's family loves cats and they've always all had cats. But you know, my dad also loves cats when they're around, even though he might not always admit that, but then he likes taking care of his aquarium and stuff like that. So I don't know, maybe I was a little bit inspired by that, even though my parents are not as grandparency, at least their style isn't this grandparency, I feel like. But they do kind of also live in an old house, so I don't know. what I was thinking. But yeah, we are soon done with the decorating. I'm just putting these boxes I mentioned into this little like storage space, and I do put some shelving in here, but nothing much, nothing you can really use or utilize. And then here in the basement, here's just the laundry room. There's nothing else than the laundry, so I just put some of these shelves from Laundry Day as well as Strangerville, and I put in the ironing board and both usable and non-usable like laundry baskets. So yeah, that would just be like a storage room as well, and then the laundry of course. And now we are on to the landscaping, and I had this idea of doing kind of a reverse thing of what I've done recently. I don't know if it's a reverse, but you know, I use these rocks again, and I use them in this more of a red color because we are in Strangerville, so it fit the surroundings very well. And I kinda have this walkway or this path going all around the house, and I kinda put these rocks around the pathway. And then there are some flowers. I use some flowers from base game, Jungle Adventure, and then also Romantic Garden stuff. And those flowers I think I haven't used before in any other swatch than the white one, the default one. But for this one I decided to go for mainly yellows and oranges in the landscaping. I thought that was a little bit of fun. But yeah, I really liked how this pathway thing turned out. I do like the look of it. And then they do have this backyard here. There will be like a swing, and I think I mentioned the flower arranging table as well as some like sitting area there. But yeah, I'm just putting like some trees around that you can also find in the surrounding world. I always like to do that. It just makes more sense that way. And yeah, I was really glad about how well these Jungle Adventure flowers also went with this world. I think they fit it very well. And here I'm just putting in all these orange toned flowers and plants. And yeah, I've been really into landscaping more and more recently. I did really enjoy doing this one, and I really like how it turned out. And I'm definitely like getting inspiration from at least like Evelyn. I love her speed builds, and she builds so amazingly, but also her like builds are just brought together by the landscaping. Like it finishes it up so well, and it's so beautiful. So I've definitely been taking like inspiration from her, at least in terms of landscaping, because I feel like I can build a house, but everything else is a little bit lacking, like mainly everything on the outside. So yeah, I've been more inspired to try different things, so that's what I did here too. And like I said, I do like the end result quite a bit, and yeah, definitely I want to try more things like this. But yeah, then there's only the backyard left, so I have some activities here for both the grandparents as well as the grandkids when they come visit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This house is up on the gallery, and you can find it under my username veloniada or the hashtag velosims. I think I call it grandparents home, and it is completely CC free, so no CC used this time. But I do use like most packs that I own. You at least would need, I think, Strangerville and Seasons and those kinds of things. But yeah, it's completely CC free, and you can use it for your grandparents. I would love to see some pictures if you do. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as per usual. If you did, please leave it a big thumbs up, and I will see you all very soon again. Bye bye!